You are looking live at the pool at Saline High School for the start of the state quarterfinals. Harrison Watt, Zach Sneathan on the call here on the MWPA Network as Jenison takes on Ann Arbor Pioneer. We prepare for what should be a pretty good game. Two teams that, Zach, we talked about it just before we went on here. They play kind of a similar style, and I think that might lend to a pretty close game here this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see kind of how this game goes. I think it's going to really be dependent on the first quarter and the adjustments that the two coaches of the year are going to have to make after the first quarter.
Two coaches of the year, the East Region and West Region first-team goalie facing off. I think they're mirror images of each other. This is the type of game you would expect to be low scoring, which at the state tournament usually means you have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think I really agree with you. I think they have two takeover players in Gabe Sanchez-Burks. I'm going to call him GSB just because it's shorter and it sounds cooler. And then Ben Jansen on the Jenison side. You got shooters all around. You got speed on both sides. Some really solid defense. I think we're in for a good one.
The officials on this first game of the day, decided by the MWPA, are Austin Myers and Brent Augustine, who is the director of officials. It's a pretty good officiating crew. Not bad. Good way to start the tournament. Next game here at the Saline quarterfinals, Rockford and Ann Arbor Huron. At the other pool, the second game, Skyline and Grand Haven. The first game, Hudsonville and Birmingham Groves, which is just underway. We'll get you score updates if you're only tuned in here. So far, Maddie Zink is over there. She'll be sending us some updates throughout the day as both teams get warmed up. We're waiting, I believe, for game balls on deck right now. Little delay to the start of this one. And I think we feel like it's a tournament where everybody probably looks at Hudsonville and says they're the favorite, but there are two or three teams at least in this tournament that match up with them, I think, particularly well and could make things interesting tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think kind of the story of this year on the boys' side, especially in the state tournament, is you have a lot of really solid teams. I think Jenison and Pioneer are two good examples. Just really consistent and have more than just one guy that can get it done on the offensive end and the defensive end. I think especially on the east side, Skyline, too, is a huge threat. They're at the other pool today. But I think a lot of these teams have the ingredients. It's just whether they can kind of put it together on the big stage. So
Jenison's a 4 seed out of the West, but you look back at what they did last week, and they were in a one-goal game with Hudsonville going into the fourth quarter in the regional semifinals. So they're no pushover either. Again, you talked about the two coaches of the year. One coach who I think when it's all said and done, I'm sure the trophies are all going to be named after Don Packard. He's been here since before I was born. And then Jason Swedick, who my favorite note about Jason Swedick is that he coaches barefoot. I think that's kind of tough to do.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if that's a decision that I would make, but, if it makes him more comfortable and helps his team win, do what you can, I guess. And I totally agree about Don Packard. I mean, as usual, Pioneers playing their best water polo at the end of the season. I think it's all about peaking when it matters. And right here in about a couple of minutes, this is when it's really going to start to matter. So.
Looks like there's still a delay down on deck here to the start of this game. We are just about 3 minutes late to the start so far. Both teams are in the water, just kind of feeling it out. Goal judges are getting ready with the counter balls, but I think we were waiting on the game balls was the last thing. Goal judges get into position. Officials are mic'd up so they can communicate across the pool with each other. Super valuable here at a tournament of this magnitude. Games of this magnitude, we expect most, if not all, the games today to be good. Last weekend at the girls' state tournament was we saw some really good water polo across the board.
Yeah, I was watching on stream, and really every game, both teams were in it pretty much the entire game, almost 3-4 quarters. So, I'm expecting the same this weekend, starting right now.
Sprinters on either side. Jenison will start it up with Sam Albrecht. Down to our right, waiting to get the cap number on the side of the purple cap. Pioneer in the dark caps to start this one. Brent Augustine will drop the first sprint of the state tournament. That is Gabe Sanchez-Burks on the sprint. It is tied up. It'll be a jump ball. So a dead heat to start this one. Jump ball between Albrecht and Sanchez-Burks. This one is won back by Sanchez-Burks. I like the press quick by Jansen there coming out in the sprinter.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, don't just let him have it.
Pioneer setting up right side of the pool. Looking for the driver. Pioneer runs a lot of motion on offense. They don't have a big-time center, so they got to move a lot. They work this one into center. Crash comes from the outside, And quickly a steal from Ryan Radofsky.
Yeah, Pioneer really likes to cycle guys through the middle. I like that they don't rely on one person too much, especially at the center position. I think that lends itself especially true in the state tournament when some of the top guys start getting pressured even more than they usually do.
In the middle to Jansen. Crash comes quickly, and an easy steal that time from Gabe Almeida, the senior. You can tell they don't want Jansen to get loose. Big, burly, good center. Good at both ends of the pool, and they've got a matchup on Sanchez Burks.
I really like that play, actually. I think Pioneer really needs to take advantage of Ruel's arm. I think, not only is he one of the best goalies in the state, he's got one of the best arms. So I'd really like to see them push it in transition and find that, that advantage just like they did down there.
Down the right side, here's Rune. Rune looking into center. Look at the crash up there. All the way up top, here's Radofsky. Radofsky with Rune. Couple of pump fakes. Takes the shot, scores! 1-0 Jenison early in the contest. Ryan Radofsky, first goal of the state tournament.
Great shot by Radofsky. I really like the recognition down low from Rune, getting it to the other side of the pool where the drop was and firing it cross cage.
Don Packard clearly on that said, we're going to let anyone but Ben Jansen beat us, and Radofsky did not miss. Cross cage, nice shot on Ruel, who is the East Region first team goalie. Into center, tie up and a ball under here. The turnover, Jenison gets it back, so a good start to the contest for the 4-seed Jenison.
I think especially in the state tournament, you really want to try to take away a team's first option, whether that's a player or that's a type of offense. And I think for Jenison, it's going to be whether they can get Ben Jansen the ball and whether Pioneer is going to make other guys beat them instead of him.
Here's Rune thinking about it, leans inside, turned it right over, gave it away to Zach Edwards. Edwards looking for the quick counter. Now he comes up the pool, pulls it out, looks across for Almeida. Almeida swims it down the right side. Drivers coming everywhere for Pioneer.
Got an advantage here.
Got an inside track. Crash coming, ordinary drawn. Back to Almeida. A little bit of room. Steps back. Let the offense reset. 10 on the shot clock. Way outside, here's Luke Packard. Luke Packard. Few on the shot clock. Easy stop for Gavin Haight right down the middle.
Yeah, I think these stops are just getting Haight even more confidence. I think, Pioneer really needs to dial it in and start shooting to the corners.
Here's Radofsky. Works it down. He's got advantage on his man. Gives it away. Drops it back to McKellar.
You can see the drop from the weak side down there. Number 14, Luke Packard, now back up.
Got that defense a little bit motion happy. Crash coming from everywhere now. Up top, late shot at the lob over the top of the cage, that time by Albrecht, and didn't really catch Ruel, who was in great position the whole time.
Like I said, I think Pioneer's kind of trying to focus on dropping off of the weak side. I'm not sure if Jenison has a really strong lefty on that side that can be a threat from the outside, but we'll see if they continue to do that.
Almeida pressured hard by McKellar out against the lane line, draws the ordinary. Up top, here's Packard. Near side, Edwards. Edwards, long skip shot, and that one caught Gavin Haight right in the dome.
I don't mind the offensive aggression from Edwards, but the center was pretty open there, so I'd maybe like to see a pass in on that one.
One-on-one in center. Packard nearly took it away. Here comes a drive from the near side. Up top, late opportunity. A shot and a big stop. Ruel coming across. Made the stop that time on Radofsky, who's got the only goal of the game so far.
Pioneer continuing to push the ball.
They're going to have Packard in a sec, but Jansen comes in to cover that up. Back up top, 15 on the shot clock. And an exclusion in the middle of the pool here. That'll open up some water here. Here's Gabe Sanchez Burks.
I'm interested to see how Jenison defends a 6-on-5.
Fakes the shot, pulls it back out, across the pool here, and it looks like they want to make them make the long pass. Here's Packard, wet pass on the water to Sanchez Burks. A lot of shot blockers in good position here. Pump fake shot, save there by Haiti. Reached back on the goal line and made the stop.
Yeah, that was a great stop by the Jenison defense, and not even just the stop, but the pressure down low from the shot blockers. That's really just making it tougher for GSB to get a good shot off.
They didn't really give Pioneer anything good to shoot for. It was kind of a sharp angle, right side of the cage, and didn't give them much to shoot for.
No lefty on the other side for Pioneer either, so I think Jenison needs to take advantage of that defensively.
Shot wide of Ruel. Counter ball in as he looks up the pool for Almeida. 2 minutes 30 to go in the first. 1-0 Jenison leads. State quarterfinals. Here comes the driver, Sanchez Burks, one-on-one, turn, shoots. Oh, that's beautiful. Sanchez Burks ripped it cross cage low. We got a tie game early in the first.
It's a great drive-in by Gabe Sanchez Burks and a great shot. One thing I actually wanted to talk about is from a post-up or center perspective. I think a lot of the times when you have righties that end up on that post over there, their first move is to look for that near side post and to shoot near side. But the problem is that the goalie is going to be right there. So I really like that cross-cage shot, catching him off guard and making it 1-1.
Jansen drew the foul out there, picked the ball up on top and dropped it. Pioneer trying to get back in front. Jennison's got the ball. 15 on the shot clock. Way outside, here's McKellar.
Pioneer crowd getting into it too. Wow,
Jansen!
Great shot by Jansen from way outside, probably 8 meters or so.
Jansen, top left, you're right, about 8.5 meters. On the pass up top near the end of the shot clock, make it 2-1 Jennison.
And Jansen really quieted the crowd there too. I think a little Pioneer momentum was stopped there on that shot too.
Like we said it before, I thought this had the potential to be the sneaky good game of the tournament. Inside water here. That one for DeBona. DeBona draws the foul. Up top, opportunity here for Jensen Wood. Cross the pool to Almeida. Looking into center, doesn't have it. Exclusion coming. In the middle, quick shot. Saved there by Haight. Oh my goodness, what a stop.
That's a great stop by the goalie. I'd like to see a pump fake on that one, even though he didn't have a lot of time. That was great recognition from the passer. But if you're gonna shoot from right there, you got to either go under his arm or get it over him. So
up top, here's Roon with it. Roon looking in for the driver. Here's McKellar. Nice takeaway here, and a ball under on Pioneer, given right back to Jennison. Fresh shot clock too. Way up high, here's Radowski, not covered. Thinks about it, takes it, and scores! Make it 3-1 Jennison in the first.
Radowski having a big first quarter, already 2 goals, 1:14 left to go in this one, 3-1 Jennison.
Wow, Jennison really came to play, and Ryan Radowski having himself a fine first quarter, a pair of goals. He is the difference in this game right now.
Especially if Jansen's getting pressured down in the center, Jonathan's going to have to rely more on the outside shot, which so far has been working out well for them.
Inside water for Farmer, and the ordinary draw. And they were trying to go for the 5-meter there, but possession never really established, even though advantage nearly there.
Great pass into the middle on that one, just not enough.
Jansen way outside 5. You can imagine he's probably going to pop and shoot here. Instead, he passes back.
I like that. You got 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Try to let something else develop.
Thinking about it again here. Off the foul, here's the opportunity. Short side skip and a nice stop, Ruel.
And I would think, too, when Jansen's on the outside like that, advantage here, number 2 on Pioneer.
Packer didn't think he could get the ball there, so he'll draw it up instead.
I like the patience, but that's the opportunity that Pioneer's going to have to take advantage of, especially because they're down 2 goals here. 16 seconds left.
Gavin Haight's going to bring this up the pool. See how Pioneer defends this. They're going to make him spread the pool out. Here's an opportunity on the near side, setting it up. It's Radowski for the hat trick. It's tipped wide of the goal. Ruel will get the ball. Late opportunity. Now he'll rip it the length of the pool and stopped by Haight. We will go to the second quarter. Jennison in front, 3-1 after 1.
Yeah,
wow.
Great first quarter for Jennison. Like I said before the game, I think this game is really going to come down to this the beginning of this second quarter and the adjustments that Pioneer makes based on the Jennison offense.
They got to get something going on offense, and I've liked, they're driving, they're getting themselves into advantage positions. The passes have been a little long and right into Gavin Haight's sweet spot to take the ball away. He's probably had 2 or 3 of those takeaways like that. I think Pioneers really just missed a little on offense, and I think you're seeing maybe a little bit of rust, and that's what happens when you have a 3-week layoff before states.
100%. And I think, too, you start, your game planning for a game like this. It's a state tournament, it's a first game. Not necessarily a nerves issue, but just, it's hard to get going in the first quarter. And I think, like I said, the second quarter, especially the first kind of 3 minutes or so, are going to be really key for the Pioneer offense.
So we'll take a look here across from the other pool. Quick score for you from Skyline. Hudsonville leads Birmingham Groves 4-1 at the start of the second quarter, so not really much of a surprise there. The next game, Grand Haven and Skyline, scheduled for 3:15, and then we both get a little bit of a break here before the semis and consolation semifinals. Same 4 teams, so we won't have to do any holdover prep. That's kind of nice for us that everybody's at the same pool tonight, and then we all move over to Skyline tomorrow.
That other matchup at the other pool is interesting. I think everyone kind of expects that Hudsonville is going to, continue to move forward, but that's a tough Groves team. I know it's 4-1 after one, but I think Groves has really the potential to kind of wear Hudsonville down a little bit and might make it a little bit more interesting in the second round. We'll see kind of how that all plays out, though.
I think you're right, and Josh, I ran into Josh Arendt before I came over here, and the thought is, we want to be in a situation where we can pull our rotation guys out of the water in the second half to get them rested up for game 2. Now the other game, I think, Grand Haven's physical, Skyline is physical.
Yes.
That could be tough, especially because one of those teams is going to have to turn around on short rest and potentially play Hudsonville in the semifinal.
Yeah, that's a tough second round matchup, but I think whoever comes out of that game is going to be battle tested and is really going to be, ready to kind of tackle that second round matchup. So.
First few minutes of this quarter, I think, are extremely important for Pioneer. If they can get back in it quick, I think they have an opportunity to come away with a win in this game. Not easily, but
sure.
I think if Jenison stays where they are into the half, I think their confidence just continues to grow at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of a snowball effect from that perspective. I'm interested to see how this first part of the quarter plays out.
This time it is Gabe Sanchez-Burks winning the sprint outright, defeated McKellar.
Coming out with a little intensity, I like it. I'm interested to see if they run a set play here on the first play or if they look in a lot of movement on the weak side of the pool.
And Jenison's going to be keen to drop off that, not allow them anything in the center. Backdoor play, and they're going to say a push-off. I think the push-off is on Edwards coming backwards. It was a nice backdoor pass there, and it was an easy catch and shoot, but just missed it.
You saw the 5 drop coming from that other side down there. I think, like I said earlier, I don't think Pioneer has a lefty consistently down on that side, so Jenison taking advantage and trying to get the shot from the weak side.
Here's Radosky. Radosky trying to find inside water towards the goal, taken away by Ruel. They were looking for the backdoor play on that far side. It was Tommaso Cremella coming over.
Yeah, Cremella had a short window of opportunity right there, but you got to make that pass super quick. Oh, we got GSB down in the center with position.
And one-on-one. And an exclusion up against the wall. It's going to be Jansen into the corner. Don't want to get him in foul trouble. That could spell issues for Jenison. Up the right side, trying to work it back to Packard.
Pressing really hard on the top.
And they're not letting GSB get into a good shooting position over here, just where the defense is sitting. Packard leaning inside, can't find anything near the end of the exclusion clock. Here's Sanchez-Burks back across the formation. Left-handed catch here by Packard. Packard, look, shoots and a stop, knocked off the goalpost, that time by Haight, who tosses it out of trouble. And now Jenison trying to come up the pool. Opportunity here, and Farmer goes over the top on the foul, so Jenison will have 7 seconds off their shot clock as they work it up the pool.
Gabe Almeida on that right side down there on the post on 6-on-5 was pretty open. I think Packard saw him and just hesitated a little bit and was worried about the pass, but because of the defense here running, he was pretty open for a dunk right there.
Here's Rune, skip shot short side right. Jenison's taking the largest lead of the day. It's 4-1.
Kevin Rune with a great near side skip. Timeout by Pioneer. I think a wise timeout. Trying to reset and maybe run a set play off this timeout to get a goal.
You could look at the 1 versus 4 and say this is a surprise, but I still, the last 3 weeks I looked at this and was like, these are similar teams, and I think Jenison is a lot better than people give him credit for. I don't know if it's surprised Pioneer early here, but Jenison's come with a perfect game plan to start this contest.
100%. I mean, partially that's credit to Jason Swedick, game planning into this game. But I think also that Pioneer, is not really used to this situation. I think throughout the year, Pioneer does a really good job playing out-of-state teams, playing top 10 matchups. But I think you have to be used to playing from all positions, whether that's playing from ahead, that's playing in a close game early, that's playing down in this situation, 4-1. So I'm interested to see how Pioneer responds here.
5:19 to go in the second, 4-1 Jenison. A start to the state tournament we've got here at Saline. Split sites so that we didn't have to start at 11 a.m. like last week.
On this setup, Gabe Sanchez-Burks down at the 1 spot. I'm thinking they're going to run an ISO for him down at the 2 post. Historically, Pioneer's done that. We'll see if that's the case here.
You're right, and that's exactly what they've done. You're like Tony Romo out there.
Thanks, man.
Good play call there. It was stopped. They had Farmer get towards the rebound, but Hate's able to swallow it up. It was a great play call. And apparently you've done maybe a little more homework on Pioneer than I have.
You actually had Farmer there on the offensive end even after the play was ran for GSB. He was open. That's partially due to Jenison being really aggressive on offense and leaving early.
Here comes a counter attack for Pioneer getting set up. On the outside, here's Almeida. Works his way back to the point. Right side, dropped it for DeBona.
See that near weak side drop there. Sam Albrecht dropping, lob shot off the post or off the crossbar.
I'm a big fan of the lob, and Haight was a little bit out that time, but you're not aiming for over the top of the goalie. My thought is always in the lob, you're aiming for the back goal post. You got to hit the inside of that back goal post if you want it to work.
I think part of that too is getting in a near side pump fake to start, get the goalie to move to the left, and then you can try to get it in that back corner like you were just saying.
Up top, 5 on the shot clock. Jenison's got to get rid of it here. Into center, ordinary foul drawn. Here's Rune. Rune doesn't have much time to McKellar. McKellar catch, pop, shoot, stop that time Ruel. Up the pool quick.
I actually would like to see a dump on that one just because we gave the ball back to the goalie and now there's an advantage.
Right side, sharp angle for Edwards, and he hit the outside of the goal, and he's frustrated now. Edwards tried to jam it short side, but Haight got over to cover that goal post.
Like I said, I like Ruel pushing the ball there. Like we saw, there was a 2-on-1 on that side of the pool. Just not able to cash in on that one.
They're going to have to get something going on offense here pretty quick. Jenison's starting to feel it. Nice steal as Jansen wasn't ready. Coming up the pool, here's Packard trying to cut Jansen off. If he does, Jansen could be in trouble for his second. Packard coming.
Pioneer's got to clear out on that side. There we go. Give him a little bit of space.
Here comes Packard. Spins. Left-handed shot over top of the goal. He went to his weak hand and missed it high.
Pioneer's just having a really hard time finishing in front of goal, and that's partially, credit to the Jenison defense, especially Gavin Haight, but having a hard time putting it in the back of the net here in the second quarter.
Cross the pool here. 3:08 to go in the second. Into center for McKellar. Fouled by Sanchez-Burks, kick to the outside. That's a great steal out there by Almeida. Now Almeida's got advantage. Pioneers got numbers up the pool and speed. Trying to cut this lead back to 2. Here's Almeida, ball in hand towards the goal, looking for a lane. Pops it right side, not a lot of room for Edwards out there. Lob shot over top, and he didn't follow through on it. It's the 3rd straight lob that they've missed.
I'd like to see Almeida fake that pass and then take a shot. I think he's got a little bit of a better angle there than Zach Edwards did on the wing. Lob shot's about what you can do from that spot, but I'd like to see the Almeida be a little more aggressive.
Sanchez-Burks with a nice play down in center D, knocking it away from McKellar.
And, Pioneer struggling on offense a little bit right now, but that's, I think, their 3rd or 4th steal in these last few possessions, so they're getting it done defensively.
DeBona was on the drive. They go backdoor near side. Back up top, Almeida trying to find something here.
Good ball movement by Pioneer on this possession.
Sanchez-Burks got advantage, turns back, and he ripped it over top of the goal. Boy, that was the move he scored on early in the contest, but this time he wasn't able to follow all the way through, goes over top. Jenison, after the out of play, will call for the timeout up 4-1 with 2:07 to go in the second.
To me, it looked like GSP was actually kind of like looking over the cage. What I always tell kids is when they're shooting over the goal, a lot of the time that's because they're actually looking over their goal and they're not looking at the goal. I know that sounds weird, but it's just something that you don't really think about until you realize it. So really just kind of dialing in and starting to look through the net and calm down a little bit. I think he could convert on that one. Like we saw, he already converted on one in this game. So
you were a lot of people know this. Hopefully people listening know this. You played for the national champion Michigan State Spartans this year. Let's say you're Jennison right now. You're going into the timeout huddle. You've called the timeout. You're up 4-1. You just got a defensive stop after Pioneer came down the pool with 3 steals, 3 counterattacks. They didn't score, but you're in pretty good position right now. What's probably going on in that Jennison timeout right now in terms of what things are being communicated?
I think Jason Sweetik's just telling them not to take their foot off the gas. I think when you get in this position, you're the 4 seed, Pioneer's the 1 seed. It's in the first round. You've kind of surprised them a little bit. You're up by 3 goals, but this game's far from over. And as we know about Pioneer, they are resilient. So I think from Sweetik's perspective, you really just got to hammer home to not stop playing offense and don't get complacent. I'd really like to see Jennison get some other guys involved. Travis McKellar on offense. Ben Jansen keep doing what he's doing. And guys like Kevin Roon. I think we're going to see another shot from the outside here on this possession. But I'm interested to see how Jennison kind of keeps their foot on the gas.
Both teams with 3 timeouts left. Both have 2 full and a setup. As each have used one. I think the next goal in this game is huge. 5-1 versus 4-2 is a huge difference at this point in the game. I don't get the vibe that either team is going to get maybe to 8 or 9.
No, I don't think so, and I actually prefer that. I think with some of the new rules and the promotion of offense, it's really made the game really interesting, but it's also made it a little bit more high scoring. You see more games, 11 to 12, 13 in that range. Got a drive from McKellar down low.
Up top, foul drawn. Jansen's way out there, out near mid-pool, tries to go back door. Gets that one to McKellar, who battles for it. 16 on the shot clock.
Still got lots of time for Jennison on this offensive possession.
A ton, but Packard takes it away in center D. Now he's got advantage.
Luke Packard a force in this game so far on defense.
And Luke Packard does all the things you want out of a coach's kid. Scrappy defense.
That's a kick out.
And an exclusion there on Roon. Didn't realize the ordinary had been called on him.
Pioneer has to cash in on this possession.
Don Packard thinking about the timeout. He's going to hang on to it now. Sanchez Burke's got all kinds of room now at a good angle. Thinking about it, gives it to Almeida. Now they're going to cover Sanchez Burke's out there. McKellar will press him. Up top, here's Packard. 13 on the shot clock near the end of the exclusion here. Packard winds, shot and a stop by Haight. Right into traffic. Haight hangs on and draws the ordinary down there.
I think Pioneer's got to keep moving the ball in that situation. I think Jennison really wants them to take one-on-one shots versus Haight. Clearly he's been stopping them, and I think we need to get Haight moving a little bit and get some cross-cage passes going.
I got a stat about moving the goalies we can talk about a little bit at halftime. 1 minute to go here, just about in the first half. Battle in center right now. They try and get it there. They go backdoor instead. They were looking for McKellar, taken away by Sanchez Burks.
That's a tough pass from that other side, trying to get it into the set driving in.
4-1 Jennison. Pioneer trying to cut into this lead. Nice draw to the right side, and they just get the ordinary foul. Down there, it was Ari Jacob just before the steal came. Packard watching his back here smartly. Out near about 7-8 meters. Draws the ordinary out there. He's got an opportunity to shoot. He won't. Drops it back to Almeida. 9 on the shot clock. Almeida looking into center. Opportunity for Jensen Wood. Wood couldn't get rid of the shot. 4 on the shot clock now. Up top, late opportunity for Packard. Got to get rid of it. Packard leans back. Shoots, and a nice stop again by Gavin Haight. Now Haight's going to hang on, and I think Jennison playing for the last shot of the half. It is 4-1 Jennison, an opportunity to make it 5.
Yeah, we got 15 seconds left. He might hold the ball here. He might bring it up, 4-1. Might want to just leave it for now and kind of go into the half with the ball.
He's going to give this one to Radosky, and I think on that far side, that's Albrecht at the buzzer, and the lob is wide to the right. We go to the half. Jennison leads it 4-1 over Pioneer. We're going to take a quick break here on the MWPA Network. We will bring it back with more halftime content and coverage of the state quarterfinals here from Saline. Back here at Saline, halftime of the first state quarterfinal, and upset alert officially on. Jenison 4, Pioneer 1. Jenison the 4 seed out of the east, or west rather. Pioneer the 1 seed out of the east, and I think you're seeing maybe some effects of that 3-week layoff, but give Jenison a lot of credit. They've come in with the perfect game plan, executed to perfection, and Gavin Haight has been exceptional.
Phenomenal. I mean, and also the thing is that in that second quarter especially, Pioneer made some good defensive adjustments, but again, give credit to Jenison. Pioneer could not convert even on some man-up opportunities, on some advantages off the counter. So Jenison's doing everything they need to do that they just need to continue doing in this third quarter.
What does Pioneer got to do to get something going? Because it just seems like one too many passes here, ends up at a bad angle there. It's just a little too short in some spots.
I'd like to see Pioneer start shooting from up top. I know we said that Haight is having a great game, but I think when the ball gets inside on those drives, on those post-ups from Pioneer that they're so good at, the guy that's posted up needs to trot up, look, and then when he gets the ball, not touch it right away and look for that guy to pass back out to. Or even just look for a guy that's dropping for a cross-cage pass into a shot. I think if we get going from up top, if Packard can get one in, if maybe Farmer can get one in, Pioneer's going to be in good shape.
Sanchez, Burks, and Albrecht for the sprint. Austin Myers drops it. Sanchez, Burks with the win. Underway in the second half here. The winner goes on to the state quarterfinals tonight. 7:45 start here from Saline against the winner of Rockford, Huron. Outside. Way outside for Edwards.
Immediately cycled back in. Edwards going in. GSB driving out on the weak side here.
Here's Gabe Sanchez Burks, and he winged it just wide, and that one is tipped by Haight over the goal line. I actually didn't see the tip.
I didn't either.
That might be where it started to redirect.
It kind of curved a little bit, yeah.
That might have been it right there, and caught by Brent Augustine, the director of officials on that far side.
Kind of an ISO here on this weak side for GSB.
He's in. He takes the shot. He was kind of mobbed that time from the side by McKellar as well as Radosky, who has been Jenison's offensive MVP in this game. He brings it up the pool, little room to operate. Into center.
A lot of traffic there in the middle of the pool. I think Jenison needs to calm down a little bit offensively. But Packard here down low. We got some bodies for Pioneer.
Packard brings it up, trying to draw out the defense. He does. A shot and a save there, partially blocked. That's a great play by Sam Albrecht. Put his hand right in the elbow area of Alex Farmer and killed the shot.
Yeah, and Gavin Haight getting across the goal there. And Packard with another steal down low.
Oh, and getting it right back is McKellar. They fight for it out near mid-pool. 10 on the shot clock, taking away Almeida. Almeida's got advantage, but a defender right in front of him, so instead he'll pull this one out.
Pioneer continuing to be really aggressive on the defensive end in order to get something going on offense.
They don't want anything in their end. Here's a nice step back opportunity here, kicked out to the top. Here's Almeida. Almeida's got room. Almeida draws it in, and an exclusion in the middle of the pool. That one is on Radosky. Inside, shot stopped there up against the goalpost by Haight. It's going to be a 2-meter, but trying to jam that one in short side was Farmer. He's denied again.
I think that was Zach Edwards over there.
Yes. Pardon me, Farmer's in the middle of the pool. Good catch. Sanchez Burks back to the far side.
Some nice passes right to the hand.
Oh, off the goalpost, rebound into traffic in the middle of the pool, and it's going to be Jenison's ball. Man, good shot that time by Sanchez Burks with the goalie moving, and he just hit the goalpost.
I'm a little surprised Pioneer's not working it up top a little bit more on 6-on-5. Jenison's putting a little bit of pressure up there, but not so much that they're completely avoiding the pass.
Soa to the outside. Jensen Wood takes it away. Yeah, you're right. The aggressive nature of Pioneer hawking the ball every time down the pool has really killed Jenison's offense here to start the half. Sanchez Burks from the outside, inside water, looking there for Packard. Taken away. Nice play that time by McKellar. McKellar battling with Packard, and McKellar's able to shield it for the ordinary. Great
job by McKellar there, even though he got caught behind. That pass has got to be a little bit more wet, though. Because it was dry, McKellar could kind of swipe it a little bit. And a big steal by GSB.
Here he comes in on goal on the breakaway. Couple of pump fakes, puts it away, and we got a ball game. 4-2 Jenison as Gabe Sanchez Burks fires it in, and now Don Packer rolling his troops along. They're starting to get fired up on that Pioneer bench.
I like the pump fakes there on the one-on-one. You know, like we said, you got to give credit to Haight. He's been having a great game, but you got to get you got to get an advantage right in front of the goal.
They get the goal, and look at how aggressive they are coming after the ball already. Ordinary foul out near mid-pool. Boy, Pioneer, they get a lot of juice when they score a goal. Last time it happened, though, Jennison responded just like that.
They did. We got McKellar driving down about at 5 meters right here. Nice turn.
Taken away by Jensen Wood on the help. It was a great turn, but just could not get anything out of it.
And despite Farmer, but we got a counter again.
Here's Almeida, got inside position on Roon. Ball in hand and a 5-meter for Pioneer. It's getting interesting. Look at Don Packard on that bench firing his guys up. He's bringing his own juice to this one. Gabe Sanchez-Burks will tie his cap, give himself a moment to try and make this a 1-goal game. What a contest here in the state quarterfinals.
I think this is going to be a skip right for GSB.
That's my spot. I like that spot. Here it comes, and it's shot left instead, goes across and it's in. Make it 4-3, Jennison.
Yeah, I like switching it up. Traditionally, he likes to go to that right side skip, but I think just based on what he saw from Haight there when he was setting up, that was the right shot to take. So
that's not an easy shot for a righty to go come back across your body and shoot it to the top left. It can be tricky there if you're lined up looking at the official.
It's definitely not, and I think the goalie's kind of expecting you to go the other way.
Look out here, Pioneer on the counter trying to tie it quick in a scramble. Packard up the pool, and his man didn't find it. Now he's almost there, but Haight takes it away. Boy, opportunity missed that time by Pioneer. Up the pool, opportunity to get set back up. Here's Albrecht looking in towards the middle of the pool for Jansen. Jansen winds, fires, scores, and he caught Ruel sleeping. 5-3 Jennison, they take the 2-goal lead back.
Just right before that happened, I was going to say, this is a really key point with Jennison's offense. I think they either have to score or Swedick has to think about calling a timeout to kind of stop this Pioneer momentum. That's exactly what happens. Jensen cashes it in from 9 meters maybe. It was really far away. Ruel just couldn't get there.
Jennison going to the bench. They've gone to Logan Dykstra as well as John Van Bennekom. Up top, Pioneer trying to make it a 1-goal game again.
That was Jansen, correct, on the goal? I just wanted to make sure.
That was Jansen.
That was right, okay.
Foul on the outside. Pioneer setting up in the middle. They go up top to Packard. Quick right back down here. Going back up top. Opportunity for the shot bar down. That's gorgeous. And Zach Edwards has made it a 1-goal game again. We got a barn burner here in the third.
That's a beautiful offensive possession by Pioneer. I think the key there that wasn't happening for them in the first half is the dry passes on the perimeter. They kept it moving, maybe 4 passes to the cross cage pass as Set was being dropped off of, and just a beautiful bar down shot by, was that Zach Edwards?
It was Zach Edwards upstairs left corner. Edwards is beat up, or actually that's Farmer coming off here. He looks like he's holding his side. Hopefully he's okay. Up top, ordinary foul drawn. Jennison with 15 on the shot clock. Trying to get the ball under did Pioneer. And taken away here by Pioneer now. Here they come up the pool aggressively, trying to tie this game back up.
You see on the weak side here, we got an advantage.
That's a great play by Sanchez-Burks on the support. We come back to the ball. Over the top. Gave it to DeBona. Into center. Turn. The shot opportunity taken away by Jennison. A great defensive play by Dykstra as well as Albrecht.
Yeah, despite the ball movement by Pioneer again, really good job. Jennison, locking it in on the defensive end and stealing the ball for the possession right here.
Right side, here's Soa. Brings it up the pool. Soa having some issues out there. Up ahead to Albrecht. Draws the foul past mid-pool. Looking here for Jansen.
Jansen's going to shoot here. I got to get my arm up if I'm...
Jansen missed it wide to the right, and I think he had Ruel beat on that shot.
He did. I think especially if you're GSB down there, I know he's kind of turned around a little bit from fighting with McKellar in the middle. You got to get your hand up and protect your goalie.
Here comes DeBona into center. Opportunity here. Pass a little behind. It's going to be a 5-meter, though, and Pioneer's got an opportunity to tie this game back up.
A lot of purple in the stands behind us, Harrison.
The green is backwards to our left, and they've gone a little bit more quiet lately as Sanchez Burks trying to even this one back up. He goes high right. We're tied. Timeout, Jennison. Don't go anywhere. This one's turning into an instant classic. 5-5, 1:51 to go in the third. Good gracious, one of the best state quarterfinals we have maybe ever seen.
I really like the adjustment by Don Packard, really going to the hard press here in the second half. That's been the difference so far. I mean, all the steals that they were getting in the second quarter, they've just started to cash in based on the dry passing on the offensive side and moving the ball a little bit more.
So Ryan Radosky in the first half, basically, not all of it, but most of the offense for Jennison was excellent. Gavin Haight was excellent. I don't think he's been bad here. He's let in 2 5-meters, a beautiful top left corner shot. I mean, like, what else do you want Gavin Haight to do in this game?
What more can you ask for? I mean, like I said, though, I think it's interesting as we see kind of where the shots have come from in this game. Most of them have been from the outside. You know, a lot of teams in the regular season, they kind of focus on the driving in and the center play and everything, and that's great. But here in the state tournament, the defense gets a little tighter, more bodies down low, and it gets a lot harder to score from the post. So I really like seeing the confidence in the shooting outside, especially from Pioneer in this quarter.
Jennison down to 2 timeouts. They've got a full and a setup. Pioneer's got 2 fulls and a setup right now. Full shot clock for Jennison with the ball after the 5-meter goal by Gabe Sanchez Burks. Him and Luke Packard have kind of willed Pioneer back into this game.
Yeah, I think so too. I think especially the defense from Packard down low, especially on Jansen a couple times, but on McKellar and a couple other guys, gotten some great steals and, you know, kept pushing the ball up and working it down the side. What do you think you run here if you're Jennison?
It's tough because nothing's really worked in the second half. The good news is you have it up the pool. I want to get driving and make Pioneer be in a position where they end up behind. They haven't drawn. I can't think if they've drawn an exclusion in this game. So I think you want to move.
I don't think they have, actually, now that they're on this side, just thinking back to the first half. I don't think they have. I'm interested to see what they go to here.
I think you got to get something with motion to create an exclusion at some point.
Yeah, not get too stagnant.
And they're trying here to maybe draw and impeding, not getting much help there.
Logan Dykstra going in.
On the outside, Jansen can't shoot after the foul. 20 in the shot clock. McKellar can. McKellar from distance, shot partially blocked. Getting me an exclusion here on Sanchez Burks for not backing off.
Yeah, that was a good block, but he didn't back up, and I think he actually came a little bit forward too, which is you're not allowed to.
So they do draw an exclusion, maybe not how you'd exactly draw it up, but it works. Jennison with an opportunity to take their lead back. Jansen up top to Radosky. Radosky's been money in this one so far. Back for Jansen, up top for Roon. Roon lost the ball in the water, back to Radosky. He's in some traffic, right side McKellar. Draws the foul, Sanchez Burks can go back in. Up top here's Roon. Roon the shot, tip wide of the goal. Ruel making one of his best saves so far. Going to be a 2-meter and a fresh shot clock here for Jennison.
Yeah, some good ball movement by Jennison on that 6-on-5. Down low at the post, a little bit stagnant, which I think made it a little harder to pass it around the perimeter as Pioneer gets the ball here in transition.
Farmer with an excellent steal, pulls the ball out, waiting for help, strafing his way up the pool. Going to have Almeida with advantage if he can wait long enough. He won't. Now he draws it in, cross the pool for Packard. They set it back up inside a minute to go in the third.
I like the patience on that, not forcing it down low.
Into center, over the top. Haight made a nice stop to wait that one out.
It's a really strong defensive play by Kevin Roon, even though he's behind, really putting pressure on him, even though he had kind of a little bit of a step out, just not giving him any space and getting right back on him.
Radosky up the right side to McKellar. Look out for him. He can shoot. McKellar's got room. He takes it, skip shot, and that one eaten alive that time by Matt Ruel.
So he got a little bit of an advantage here for GSB, and he gets there.
Look at the cannon on Ruel. Sanchez Burks has it with room. The lob over the top to the back goal post. A race for it. Taken away by Pioneer.
Thought there might have been a little bit of a hold there by Jennison, but a no call there.
Packard for the lead, and a great block by Roon, and now Haight will have an opportunity at the buzzer. 3 on the game clock. He'll hold it. Radosky at the horn. It won't matter. It was off late. We go to the fourth quarter, tied at 5 here from Saline, Jennison, and Pioneer in what has turned into a classic quarterfinal.
I mean, you can't ask for much more. I mean, I think the story of the first half was really Jenison. The story of that quarter was Pioneer. So I'm really interested to see kind of how both these teams come out. It was interesting on that 6-on-5. I think Swedick really wanted to call the timeout, but because he had just used it, you can't go down to one timeout in a tie game going into the fourth quarter. So not able to capitalize on that opportunity, but Jenison with a little bit of a break on that kick out.
From the other pool, an update and a little bit less intrigue as Hudsonville leads at 17-3 at the end of the third on Birmingham Groves. So they are all but ticket punched to the semifinals here as Skyline and Grand Haven warm up over there. Rockford and Huron in the pool beneath us. One matchup between the two of them this year. Contest went the way of Rockford, 11-6 the final. Rockford has a lot of weapons, and Huron has Graham Baker, who scored 104 times. No one else is north of 20 for Huron.
Wow, that's it's pretty lopsided. I think then in terms of Rockford's game plan, you really just got to neutralize Baker and make all the other guys beat you. But it's actually interesting. I think we were talking about how Pioneer Jenison, this is a very similar matchup in terms of team. I think the Rockford-Huron matchup is a little more similar than you might think. Rockford's got some weapons offensively, but I think Huron's capable of putting it in the goal from spots other than Baker. Some of their games this year, they were missing a couple people, just some different issues, but I think Huron could put it together to make it a good one in this next game.
Rockford has gone back and forth with their goalies. Joe Reinsma will both play in the field and in goal. It looks like Reinsma will be in field, and Ben Seymour was the one warming up in cage for Rockford. It looks like he'll get the start against Huron in the second quarterfinal of the day. 5-5, start of the fourth. Jenison Pioneer. Jenison led 4-1 at the half. Pioneer won the third quarter 4-1 by themselves, and that's where we're at.
Evan Reynolds over there on Pioneer's bench, MSU grad, Pioneer grad. Great guy, one of my first middle school coaches actually with Spartan Water Polo when they were in mid-Michigan.
I'm trying to think of when you would have graduated high school.
High school, I was 2018 I graduated. My last season was fall of 2017.
Only a little after me by 6 years or so. Brent Augustine on to drop the sprint to open the fourth. This one won by Sanchez Burks. Pioneer will get the first possession of the fourth. With momentum, too. Left side of the pool, they work it back up top to Packard. Packard looking into the middle of the pool.
I really like the clear outs, and if Pioneer isn't getting something in set, they're driving out immediately and giving someone else an opportunity.
Crash comes from the backside.
Still great defense by Jenison.
Yeah, that's a nice play by Radosky coming back, and he flipped that ball back to Haight with maybe a little bit more velocity than you like to see typically.
Yeah, definitely. I actually don't think it's super necessary to bring it back to the goalie right there. I mean, there is a Pioneer body, but I say you keep working it up as GSB gets a steal down low here, and Pioneer comes the other way.
Chance up the middle for Farmer. Farmer's got a defender, McKellar, in front of him. Farmer thinking about it, got a little room, kicked it wide, down low. Here comes the lob shot off the top of the crossbar and out of play.
I think you go back up top there. If you're Zach Edwards, I think Alex Farmer up top has a better angle there, and maybe throwing a pump fake or two, and maybe you can catch Haight off guard.
I might have just shot it instead of passing that ball, but I'm greedy. That's just me. Into center and taken away there from Jansen, who was working on Packard. You can just see the force that Ben Jansen is in the middle of the pool, forcing Luke Packard off of him there, but the crash came too quick.
Yeah, he's really a magnet in the middle.
Over the top, Pioneer, a chance for the lead.
Looks like we have a kick out.
An exclusion here on Jenison. It's Roon. 6-on-5.
We got kind of a 5-on-4 here as Ben Jansen and Almeida are kind of back, not in the play. So good opportunity for Pioneer.
Edwards and a stop by Haight. Tried to go short side. I think he had a lot more room cross cage there.
Yeah, I agree, especially with the ball being on that side originally. It's not a cross cage pass, so the goalie isn't moving a ton. I think you got to go cross cage on that one.
Sanchez Burks with a heavy press way out there on Dykstra. Up the right side, here's Radosky. Pressed out there by DeBona.
Edwards completely dropped as Connor Soa is completely out of the play. Makes it really easy for Jansen not to get the ball.
McKellar with the shot, that one swallowed by Ruel. We're down to 4:55 to go here in the fourth. tied at 5. Nice turn this time. Here comes Almeida inside water, and an exclusion here. Timeout Pioneer, and a good time for that for Don Packard.
Yes, some head contact on Almeida there. I think it's a good move to call the timeout and try to capitalize on this man up.
Real quick, we want to remind you that the official ball of water polo in Michigan is Cap 7. Cap 7, live in water. Thank you to our sponsors at Cap 7 who sponsor our website, sponsor the game balls. They do so much for us, a great deal. Make sure you buy Cap 7 water polo gear, MichiganWaterPolo.com. Click on the Cap 7 logo. 10% of each purchase works its way back to the Michigan Water Polo Association so that we can continue to do great things for your kids in the water, such as host polo states at Michigan.
There you go.
I have to imagine, like, I know you went to Michigan State, so you might be a little biased, but, like, had you gotten to play a high school state championship at Michigan, I have to imagine that would have been pretty cool on your level.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a totally different atmosphere. I think it's also kind of a glimpse of the next level, and maybe, a lot of high schoolers in Michigan kind of dream of going to those, Big Ten schools that are around and just kind of playing in a different environment at a school you've never played at. I mean, all of these high schoolers play at a lot of the same pools, some great pools we have in Michigan, but just kind of a new space, a very, neutral site. I mean, for the east side, it's a little bit of an advantage because of the crowd, but I think just playing at a different pool that's, just absolutely beautiful, it's just kind of a great kind of cap to the end of the season. So
I could tell it pained you to say nice things about Michigan. We wish we had a nicer pool at Michigan State. You get a national championship water polo team and a national championship club swim team. It's almost like water sports at Michigan State are worthy of having a facility, you would think.
Yeah, I would say so. The upper administration doesn't think so, but that's a conversation for another day.
We can make fun of them here because I'm not employed by any of them.
Oh, there you go. I'd really like to see Pioneer go to the post on this possession. I think Jennison's left it open a couple of times, actually, but Pioneer just hasn't capitalized on it.
6-on-5 here for...
See, as you can see, Farmer's open on the post right there. He gets it.
What a stop by Gavin Haight coming across. He read that like a book.
He did. Like I said, that's exactly what Pioneer should have done, leaving Farmer almost completely open, but Haight just, getting back around and right where he needed to be.
You're scoring on, what, 85% of those shots?
That's a very tough block. That's very impressive as Packard gets another steal. I think Packard has maybe 6 steals. I don't have it in front of me, but
that might just be in the half. I mean, he's been magnificent here in the second. Pioneer trying to take the lead back here as they get the steal, cross the formation there to Sanchez-Burks. Top for Edwards. Leans in, draws the ordinary. He's outside. He can shoot. He won't. Gives it to Sanchez-Burks. 9 on the shot clock. Pump fake back down low. Chance for Farmer. Farmer in. Farmer draws, shoots, and a save by Haight off the top of his head after it hit him in the hands.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough shot by Farmer from the weak side, but also, again, a great stop by Haight. Really keeping Jennison back in this ball game.
Jennison up the pool. They threw it away. Now back to Ruel with 3 minutes 35 here on the clock.
And, earlier I did say that I don't love, when high schoolers continually throw back to the goalie. But in Pioneer's case, with Ruel in the cage, like I said, he's got a monster arm. So, honestly, sometimes working the ball back to him so he can get it right up the pool is not a bad idea.
It's one of the bigger arms I can remember seeing from a goalie because it's just so easy. He gets the ball the length of the pool like the flip of a wrist.
And it's not just the distance, it's the accuracy of his passes, too. As GSP gets the ball down here in center. He's got it on the weak side.
Opportunity. The pass was just about 4 or 5 inches too high to handle that time for Farmer.
It's interesting, out of that timeout, Pioneers kind of lost a little bit of the momentum, but also the dry passing that was so pretty earlier in this game.
Right side, McKellar with the turn, and taken away from the side by Almeida. That's a great play. Packard's got the timeout horn in hand. I think he wants to allow this to develop. He had an idea there, but he's not going to use it. Into the middle of the pool. Opportunity for Farmer. Farmer with room. Couple of pump fakes. Got to get rid of it with McKellar coming. Swept it back. Sanchez-Burks on the lob, and it's over top of the cage.
Great pump fake there by Sanchez-Burks. I'd like to see him just put that in the back of the cage. He's one of the best shooters in the state. I think he just got to bury it against Haight right there.
One-on-one, Jansen and Packard taken away as Jansen kind of gave that to Packard.
I think Hate's actually a little bit in Pioneer's head right now. I think they're going to the lob a little bit because of their regular shots have just kind of been, just been completely denied by him. So I think as a shooter, you start to try other things, and it's still not working, but we'll see on this possession.
Sanchez Burks the shot, and that one skipped over top of the goal. That was close to touching Hate's hands. Just missed apparently. 2 minutes and 5 to go. Boy, the clock bleeding down here in a tie game. No goals in this quarter yet. Up the pool, Packard after it in the ordinary foul. Jansen can shoot from there if he wants. Jansen winds the skip, and the skip hit the water at about 6 meters and somehow still got it over the cage.
Packard actually went forward a little bit on that block. I don't know if the officials missed that or if they decided that wasn't affecting the play too much. But Packard's actually driving in here. I'm interested to see what he does.
It was close. Up top, Almeida, 1:45 to go here in regulation. Edwards to DeBona, looking into center. Far side, Sanchez Burks with room. Sanchez Burks the shot, missed it over top of the cage again, and he's kicking himself now.
Sanchez Burks going a little high on these shots. One thing one of my coaches always used to say to me is, if you're going high, you really need to just go low. Try to adjust, shoot a shot right on the water, and then try to adjust from there instead of trying to dial it down from way up top.
And, McKellar didn't put the ball in play. Oh, no. McKellar had Sam Albrecht with advantage to the goal because DeBona got beat back there, and he just didn't put it in play. I think he was waiting for the play to develop.
That's tough. I think especially now that this popping rule has been around for a little bit, players are a lot more used to it. But we still get every once in a while, and even in big games like these where you just make that little mental error and it ends up going the other way.
So we are down to 1:26 to go, full shot clock. Last full timeout for Pioneer. They've got a 30. Jennison's got a full and a 30 to set this one up. I don't think anybody's got 2 exclusions. Kevin Roon might have 2. That might be the only one. I can check on that in a moment here. But this has been pretty darn close.
Yeah, I think there's 3 possessions left in this game just based on the clock. You got 1:30 left. Pioneer with the timeout here. I'm curious to see what they go to on a timeout. Earlier in the game, they went to a GSB ISO down on the 2 post. I don't think you can go to that again, as Jennison already knows. That's something that they do. I'm interested to see kind of what develops here. I'd like to see a shot from the outside. That's how Pioneer's been scoring. They haven't scored in a while, though. No goals in this quarter. But I'd like to see a little bit of motion and then a pass out to a shot from up top.
Well, actually, I missed this. How about this? Kevin Roon is at 3 exclusions. Sam Albrecht, as well as Ryan Radosky, each have 2 for Jennison.
Wow, that's a big deal, especially with some of those guys' impact in this game.
At this point, anybody that can, Kevin Roon can't be in the water. His day is done.
Right.
But the other 2 at this point have to be in the water. You have to risk it at this point.
Yeah, I think especially, too, if you're Pioneer, then you might want to target on this possession, try to get it inside and get the kick out for a 6-on-5 if you can. But I was saying when you were on the mic that I think Pioneer needs to go to an outside shot here, maybe a pass out from the middle. I'm interested to see what they do.
They go outside, right side here to Edwards, to Almeida.
There's a pick there on the other side.
Into center. Having to pull it out now is Jensen Wood. Up top, Almeida. They got Sanchez Burks with room. He's got advantage. Leans back. The shot. He scores! 6-5 Pioneer. 1:13 to go.
It's a beautiful play call by Don Packard. You got a lot of motion happening on both sides of the pool. The ball's, on the weak side for almost the entire possession. And then off the pick, GSB, gets inside and, finally kind of goes the other way with a great move and a score.
McKellar up top with the ball, working on Sanchez Burks. Leans into him, trying to get some room. Sanchez Burks waiting him out. Timeout Jennison, and a smart call that time by Jason Swedick.
Yeah, 1:02 left here in the 4th. It's a 2-possession game now. You got to start thinking about pulling the goalie out here too, I think. I mean, maybe not. Yep, and here he comes.
1:02 to go. Haight will at least start this from half pool. 6-5 Pioneer. It was a 30-second timeout, 19 on the shot clock. Pioneer's got a setup. Jennison's got a full left.
Yeah, the issue is if Jenison can't convert on this possession, Pioneer has a timeout and can spread out the pool.
There's a backhand from
Ben Jansen.
Ben Jansen, wait, I was trying to find the meter mark from where he was, and it skips wide right of the goal. So Pioneers pop the ball, and they're just going to hang on for a little bit here. Packard will draw it up the pool. Not sure if they're going to shoot here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see kind of the point of attack. I think if you get a good look, you put the game out of reach, like right now in the middle.
And they do. It's 7-5 Pioneer. It's Zach Edwards, short side left. It's a 2-goal game as Pioneer, with 39 seconds to go, has an opportunity to wrap this one up with a pretty bow.
Yeah, Zach Edwards with some misses in the first half, especially from down on the wing, but, drives in and, demonstrates the Pioneer offensive cycling guys in.
Radosky from distance.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Radosky beats Ruel, who jumped early. We've got a 1-goal game again.
Not much more you can say about that. I mean, Radosky just making a great read and realizing that Ruel kind of checked out there for a second.
They're going to pop it and spread the pool.
Pioneers got 2 guys back there.
Packard's got his timeout available. He can use it at any point here. It's just a 30.
The problem is that you can't bring Haight out because the goalie can throw it so far. He's going to throw it right in the cage, and everyone on Pioneer is capable of doing that too.
So there's a little bit of a differential between the shot and the game clock here too. Across to Almeida. Almeida's one on the goalie. Almeida is in, waits, and a save by Haight. Swept towards the goal line. And a timeout, Jenison. They're going to play for the last shot.
That's
wow.
Interesting. First of all, before I continue talking about what just happened, that was an amazing read by Radosky. Just Ruel just getting completely beat on that one right off the restart.
So it's a full timeout for Jenison, last of the game. 2 seconds will go back on the clock. Jenison is an opportunity to force overtime with a goal.
I think that's an interesting situation for a field player down there when you had Pioneer. I don't remember who exactly that was. Was that Almeida down there on the corner with the ball?
It was.
Almeida has to decide, you're not really looking at the shot clock, but you got to recognize that there's 6-7 seconds left in the game. He gets it pretty much one-on-one with Haight, but my qualm would be, do you dump it in the other corner there, or do you take the shot and try to put the game out of reach?
You know what? It's a tough question. I think my coaching style would have lent me to continue to play keep away and throw a nice high arcing dump into the corner. I think was it Packard that was up pool on the far side here?
I believe so, yeah.
That might have been what I would have done there. I'm not going to question Don Packard with all of his state championships and coaches of the year. I think it's a little bit of a gamble, and this is a rare situation in which it paid off for Jenison. There weren't a lot of scenarios in which Jenison was going to get the ball back in a good spot. This was one of the few, and they do, and it's just a shot for the tie.
Yeah, very true. And that's a really split-second decision that you just have to make in the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not discounting, what Almeida did. And Haight made a great stop, too, on that block. So we're going to see what Jenison does here. They actually put 1 more second back on the clock with 2.
So it'll be Jenison for the tie. Gavin Haight will start with the ball.
Are they going to try to go for the kind of the shot tip-in? They got a couple guys in the middle of the pool. They might have Gavin Haight kind of chuck it up in the middle, an off-speed shot for maybe Ben Jansen or someone in the middle of the tip.
Here we go. Gavin Haight to force overtime. He pops it. The tip. It hits the crossbar and never went in. The game is over. Jenison at the buzzer. Just
Austin's
missed.
calling for the ball. Is that game? Yep,
that's the game. Oh, my goodness. What a finish. And you called the play exactly. The ball, it didn't go over the goal line. There was no way it was over.
No.
It was right on the goal line, though.
No, that was actually a really good job, though, by Gavin Haight. Usually when you do a play like that, it's almost more of a shot. That was more of a kind of a lob pass, if you will. But, the Jenison, gets up, treads up, and I couldn't see who that was and all the commotion. They get a pretty good opportunity just doesn't go in. That's really tough for Jenison, and a great game played by them.
We are going to take a quick break. We'll bring it back with Rockford Huron next here on the MWPA Network. The final score, Pioneers 7, Jenison 6, and one of the best finishes we have potentially ever seen in the MWPA. We're back soon with more. Well, if that was any indicator of how the state tournament's going to go, it's going to be a pretty exciting weekend, and everyone's going to need heart pills and pacemakers. Jenison wins it 7-6, or actually rather Pioneer wins it 7-6 at the buzzer. Jenison had an opportunity at the buzzer is what I was going to say. Thank you for correcting me. But now we turn to two of the most storied programs in MWPA history, 24 combined state titles between Rockford and Huron.
Yeah, this is actually a really interesting matchup, too. We were talking about it a little bit at the half of that last game. I think these two teams are actually a little more similar than people might think. I think, on Rockford's side, they have a takeover player in Wagon, but they got a lot of weapons surrounding him on the offensive side. I just think they need to support Will Cheney if he's going to play from behind on defense. I'm interested to see kind of what they do with Huron because, you got Graham Baker in center for Huron, and he's just a force on the inside. What did you say, 100 and something goals?
104 goals as a sophomore.
Yeah, that's extremely impressive. So if I'm Rockford, I really need to try to neutralize him and make everyone else beat me. But that doesn't mean that Huron doesn't have other guys too. Michael Shaheen's got an outside shot. Jaden Martin did really well at regionals. So I think Huron, and in terms of goaltending, their goalies just got better and better. So I think this is going to be a good one too.
Ozan Euler is in goal for Huron. In fact, Ozan Euler is a Division I baseball prospect, but had Tommy John surgery. He was actually throwing with his left hand in goal. I learned this because Graham Baker's mother sent me a litany of amazing notes on Huron that are on our spot chart that we can talk about throughout the day. But
amazing.
She gave me some really good stuff. I mean, she might be my best broadcast prepper that I've ever had. Rockford wins the opening sprint. We're underway. It's Rockford trying to make it back to the state semis. They missed last year as they got Pioneer in the first round and went down. Finished 7th last year at states. Huron back at the state tournament. Were not there last year. Skip shot high right, and they're off and running. Che Chino.
I was actually going to say before the game, if Rockford really needs to go with other options besides the middle. In the last game we were talking about how hard it is to get shots from the middle of the pool. They usually go to Wagon in the middle, but starting off, Che Chino, great shot, and Rockford's ahead.
And a takeaway here by Rockford up against the lane line. It's going to be Will Cheney out there. Much older team Rockford than Huron. You look at Huron, you see a lot of sophomores and juniors on that roster, so good valuable experience for them here today. Reinsma looks into center, leaning back. The shot dies in the water. It was Wagon, defended one-on-one straight up by Peter Fazekas.
Yeah, that was actually a good job defensively. I mean, Wagon did get a shot off, but it was a pretty weak shot, and that's not to the fault of Wagon. That's because of the defense.
Up top, Huron working the ball around. You can see the crash is straight up. They're going to make someone else beat them. Here's an opportunity for a long shot for Huron. They roll it into center. Here's Graham Baker trying to get back to the ball. Baker loses it in the steal, taken away by Rockford.
I like the pump fakes from Jaden Martin as he's attacking the goal, trying to make sure the goalie's respecting him, but also then getting it into Baker.
Here's Reinsma, right side Wagon, one-on-one, got inside, water power move, and it's too easy for Christian Wagon.
I really like the turn there, but even more I like that he didn't give up on the play and go for the kick out of the 5-meter. Kept the ball, held it, looked at the goal, and, put it right in. So
forgot to reset the scoreboard there before that one. Sorry, everybody. 2-0 Rockford. That's on me.
Huron with the ball here up top as we go down low. A lot of pressure there from Che Chino in the corner.
Up top, Huron working it around. Sorry, working my board functions as well. Had to talk to Jason Swedick. Good to see him after that game.
Major credit to Jason Swedick for that game plan against Pioneer.
Nice stop there by Ben Seymour. Yeah, I was down on deck and I said, hey, you got nothing to feel bad about. Your kids played
not at all.
Hard.
Especially on that last play call that was just so close to working.
That you called from up here in the booth.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You were the one that was like, he's going to call this. It was 2 or 3 times in that game you did that, and it's good I have you up here. I'm learning so much. Up top, Huron, ordinary foul. It's Bunnell, the sophomore.
Looks like you got Shaheen down there in the middle as it goes to him.
Shaheen trying to get back to the ball. going to be an exclusion in the middle of the pool.
I really like that offensive play, though. I mean, not really play, but just having Shaheen go down low and having Baker go outside. Jaden Martin with the ball up top.
Martin kicks it far side to Baker, and they're going to be keen to get to Baker in a hurry. Shaheen works it down low to the lefty, into center, and a goalpost shot that time, one touched in by Cal Bunnell.
Wow, and that was completely contested, too. It wasn't like he was by himself or the defense was sleeping. He was completely covered, and Huron still gets the pass off to make it 2-1.
So Rockford in front 2-1. That was Cal Bunnell. So I think this for Huron, any goals you can get from people not named Graham Baker is a huge plus.
100%, and that's not to discount the rest of the Huron team. It's that they're very capable. It's just that they need to find other offensive weapons, but besides Baker, because Rockford's going to be so focused on making sure he's not the one that beats them.
Backdoor pass and thrown off the side of the goalpost. That time by Will Cheney. Might have rushed that one a little bit, and Ozan Euler was up against that goalpost pretty quickly.
I'm glad to see Will Cheney being aggressive on offense. He's really kind of the anchor of Rockford's defense in a whole D usually. But I really like seeing him shoot right there.
They got one-on-one in center. Huron trying to get back to the ball. It's a good steal from up top.
As I was just saying, Will Cheney, anchor of the defense. Shaheen tried to go for the backhand, and Will Cheney's hand immediately right there.
Craig Peterman, the Rockford coach, almost just fell in the pool, actually. I was just saying he's pushing the pace of the game, trying to get his guys up the pool. Reinsma.
Quite the fight on the outside right there. Not fight.
He was a scrap there for sure. There's a lob over the top, wide right that time by Wagon. Interesting shot selection.
Yeah, definitely from center cage. That's not typically what you want to go to.
I think they want to see what Ozan Euler is capable
of.
Definitely. Potentially, that might be part of it.
Testing the goalie in the first quarter, I think, is something that I always tell my teams when I'm coaching too. See what they're capable of and then make adjustments in the second quarter.
Nice steal in center D by Wagon, who knocked it backwards to Seymour, the netminder today. Head for Joan Reinsma. Reinsma, all region, plays both field and goalie. Good utility player. Up top. Into traffic, right side. Here's Reinsma. Reinsma's got room. Wines, pumps, throws it into
nice
center.
Pass.
Step out. Big stop there by Euler. And, I think that might have been more positioning than it was technique that time for Ozan Euler on the save.
Definitely. The sweep shot by Chechino, really solid. I think we're going to see that again later in the game if he ends up going back inside. And as he gets the ball again.
Chino's got it. Down at about 4-3 meters up top. Logan Stevens draws the foul out there. He's outside. Wine, skip shot right into the stomach of Ozan Euler.
Typically when the ball goes right there, like right to the middle of the goalie's chest, that means that the offender is just completely gripping the ball and is squeezing it way too hard.
Offensive foul, I believe that was in center on Baker. Rockford gets the ball back. They work it up the pool with speed, trying to push the pace of the game.
Rockford crowd coming alive behind us a little bit.
We had some good crowds here already today. Into center, Reinsma's got position, leans in, fouled hard that time by Baker. The fact that Graham Baker's a sophomore, look at the size on him. Nice and strong.
Yeah, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the coming years.
There's a shot there, skip, trying to go cross cage. It died in the water, knocked away by Euler, and a save. You think 104 goals as a sophomore? That's the type of kid that's going to be in contention for Player of the Year over the next couple of years.
Oh, 100%. Huron needs to get the ball up the pool here. Only 15 seconds left on the shot clock.
Remember, Euler's throwing with his offhand, and he can still get it halfway up the pool. It's just a question of, in transition, is he going to be able to get the ball moving? Here's an exclusion on Graham Baker into the corner.
Chechino open down low.
Chino, saved there by Euler, and he throws it away. Smart play by Euler, and somehow made the stop on Chino wide open.
Yeah, Chino with the pump fake, trying to sneak it by him with the near side, and there's a timeout for Huron.
It's turning into a bit of a swim meet, and I don't think that's what Huron wants. I think they want to play at a slower pace than Rockford does.
No, I completely agree with you. I think they're trying to work the ball around the perimeter, get it into the middle. They haven't been super successful from the middle yet, but I think that as the game moves on, we'll get to see more looks, not only from the outside, but on post-ups and catch and shoots.
Rockford, we look at the weapons they have. We talked about how Huron's got the one weapon that everyone knows about. Cecchino's got 66 goals, 62 for Logan Stevens, 50 for Joe Reinsman, who spends almost half his time in the cage, 48 for Nate Cheney. Christian Wagon's got 115. So you got, I mean, I just named off 4 or 5 guys that are 48 and up.
I was actually going to say one of the, I think, maybe Rockford's most key player, in my opinion, is actually Logan Stevens. He's had some phenomenal offensive possessions in the semifinal, the regional semifinal against Grand Haven that ended up going to overtime. He had just had a great strong side turn in the middle when he got the ball and just a super fast shot. He's got great awareness leaving early from defense to offense. I think I'd really like to see him be aggressive in this game. And, you know, we've already seen Will Cheney and Cecchino already take some shots, so it's good to see for Rockford that they're not relying too much on Wagon.
For Huron, let's go with some of our fun notes that we got from Mrs. Baker. 7 different languages. 7 different first languages spoken by Huron
spoken by players. That's really interesting.
English, obviously, but French, Arabic, Chinese, Turkish, Hungarian, and Mongolian. Imagine being a fly on the wall in those practices.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think they talk to each other in different languages in the pool? I know that's what I would be doing.
You know what? They might, but my thing is they all speak such different languages that it might be hard to communicate.
It might be. I'm interested to see what Huron does off of this timeout. Is it going to be a set play? Looks like there's some driving going on.
They've got Baker in center working one-on-one. He's got some space in there in center right now.
He does. Matt Dowling posted up a little bit from that 5 spot. Looks like he's still trying to get inside.
Here's Baker. Crash comes. Baker submarines the shot. How he got that shot off.
Wow.
It went over the cage, but he had 2 guys all over him and still got the shot away, and it was a hard one.
Again, good job by Will Cheney. He tried to go for the backhand again, but credit to Graham Baker for trying the backhand and then immediately turning.
Defensive lapse for Huron and make it 3-1 Rockford that time. Left wide open was Nate Cheney.
Yeah, I love the pump fake by Cheney. Is that Will Cheney, Nate Cheney?
Yes.
Brothers, I would think.
Yes, correct.
Love the pump fake by him and shooting it cross cage.
2 seniors in this Rockford squad under Craig Peterman. 3rd year at the helm for Craig Peterman. Been there at Rockford for 17, but 3rd as the head coach. Finally, John Haga, Dave McWaters, amongst others.
Graham Baker's got space in the middle, but Rockford gets the ball. Logan Stevens with the steal.
They're really keen. You know, Rockford's going to, if they're going to heavy press up top, they're not going to allow the ball to get to Graham Baker. Right side, Rockford working their way in. That's Wyatt Cliff out there. Cliff to the middle of the pool. Here's Stevens, got a little room. Pump fakes once, twice, skip low right, make it 4-1 Rockford.
I was just saying a couple minutes ago, Stevens, I think, a really key player in this game here for Rockford. You know, demonstrating that he is a threat from the outside with that shot.
Rockford going to the bench. Jacob Hopkins will jump in. And they're trying to get one more body in. Here's Cecchino, who just got a little bit of a break.
Hopkins has got some speed. I'm interested to see if he can capitalize on potentially a mismatch in terms of speed. Huron with a little bit of a play here off of the start, but Rockford gets it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of ball management that time. Here comes Cecchino on the break. He's got advantage. He's got a man ahead of the pack. Threw it in the middle, and Huron somehow got back on that one.
It's a great job by the Huron defense, just swarming on the counterattack.
Up the pool, near side. Here's Dowling into the middle. Here's Baker with room. Baker rolls over the shot, and a save there that time by Seymour. He rolled over into the shot, and I think based on the way he rolled, it was pretty obvious he was going to go right side of the cage that time.
Yeah, I think that was a good read by Ben Seymour. I think he kind of knew what Baker was going for there.
Physics-wise, it would have been hard to go back across the cage with the way he rolled over.
Yeah, definitely. You got to get your legs under you, too, in that situation when you're already swimming, and, you know, to get back up.
Into the middle, and oh my goodness, a tip play in the middle of the pool, and the goal is going to be Wagons. It was thrown up in the air on a straight lob down the middle by Cheney, and Hopkins, the officials say, touched it last as it went by Euler.
Wow, that was very impressive. Nate Cheney with the pass. It almost looked like a shot to me. 2 seconds left. Huron's going to shoot here.
Here's Baker at the horn, and he missed it high. So we go to the second quarter. Rockford 5, Huron 1 at the end of the state quarterfinals. First quarter here from Saline.
Rockford really just asserting their offensive dominance in this game right now. You know, going up so quickly, up by 4. I think, like we talked about, this is kind of what happened in the Jenison Pioneer game. I believe it was 4-1 after the first quarter. Jenison, couldn't kind of keep their foot on the gas, and that's what Rockford needs to do here and not let Huron get back in this game.
No, and they've done a pretty good job defensively. They're being aggressive on the press. They might be single covering Graham Baker down there, but it's not mattering because they're taking the ball away before Huron can get the ball to Graham Baker. Not an easy strategy to run, but it's working really well for Rockford right now.
Yeah, and I think especially if we see it's working here in the first half, it's only going to, in theory, get better as Huron just gets more worn down by the press. It's going to be harder for them to pass it safely, run the perimeter, and get that in to Baker. So.
From the other pool, Skyline leading Grand Haven 1-0 at the end of the first, and those are two very physical teams traditionally, so I would imagine that's probably part of the story in that one. Joey Sutherland has the call on that one. If you want to watch some other games while you're watching us, you can go to MichiganWaterPolo.com, look for the live streaming links in our story. We will also have new live streaming links up for the second round games here later tonight, so make sure you stay tuned to MichiganWaterPolo.com. (5-1) Rockford in front here at the end of the first. Only goal for Huron from Cal Bunnell and a 6-on-5 up against the goalpost.
What adjustments do you think you need to make if you're Huron? What do you think Barnett's saying right now in the huddle?
My thought right now is if they're going to single cover Graham Baker, we got to get the ball to him quick.
Yep.
Now, once the drop comes, you just have to say everybody's got to be willing to shoot from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The moment someone shoots, just get back on defense quick because Rockford is counter happy right now.
Yeah.
The thing that's overwhelming Huron isn't so much Rockford's skill, although I think it is, the skill level might be a bit different here for Rockford. I think what's overwhelming them is the fact that Rockford's getting down the pool and starting their offense before Huron has a chance to catch their breath and get set.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I'd actually like to see a couple drives from Huron. There hasn't been a lot of motion as Huron looks like they're getting the ball here because of a
false start, looks like, on Rockford. Far side.
Baker's open in the middle again.
Yep, and they've got him one-on-one. Now they work it to the outside. Here comes the drop. Baker with the left hand after it, and they get the ordinary foul on the near side. That is Josh Bergdolt, the near side official, out there officiating with.
That's Matt Bergdolt, his brother.
Oh, it's Josh Bergdolt. Sorry, I just want to make sure I had that correct.
It's Matt Bergdolt because Josh Bergdolt's younger.
Okay, it's Matt Bergdolt.
I played with Matt Bergdolt at Michigan State my freshman year. He was a senior, and I coached Josh Bergdolt. Or actually, Josh Bergdolt is now on Michigan State, too. He was a freshman this past year.
Here comes Wagon, shot over top of the cage. Glad you're here because I do get the two of them confused. I don't see them nearly as often as you do. Matt Bergdolt.
Yes.
And Brent Augustine.
Matt Bergdolt went to Dexter, was a part of some really, really good Dexter teams.
Yes.
I think, I'm trying to remember when he was a senior, 2015 maybe?
Up top here, Shaheen into center, one-on-one. And an offensive foul, I believe, in center. That's on Graham Baker.
A lot of movement from Graham Baker when he gets the ball. I'd like to see him kind of slow down a little bit and tread up and just make a nice step-out move because he's got space. He's Will Cheney's really – or not Will Cheney, sorry. Nate Cheney is rather playing from behind right now, as I can turn the camera. Nate Cheney playing from behind right now. Actually a drop coming from the other side.
That's a great steal by Wagon, reaching underneath the water with his off arm, popped it up. And now he's got advantage. He swims into the middle. Rockford doesn't have much of an opportunity to clear, but they got Chino in behind the defense. Chino on his back, rolls to his stomach. Chino is in, and a 5-meter, so the goal will not count. Rockford will get the penalty shot out of the play.
Yeah, I actually agree with that call. I think, Cheney had possession and pump faked it, but then coming from behind still on the last game, Huron prevented that goal.
Wagon for a 5-goal lead for Rockford. 5:39 to go.
Oop, I was wrong.
Low left on the skip. Make it 6-1 Rockford. Body position sometimes when it comes to the 5-meter can tell you a lot about where they want to shoot. Usually if the shoulders are square to the net, the shooter wants to go cross cage. If it's the non-shooting shoulder towards the net, they usually want to go short side. It is a little bit harder to turn your body if you're, shoulder pointed at the net to get all the way over for the cross cage shot.
That's why usually coaches kind of say, you don't want to be complete. Your shoulder doesn't want to be completely pointed toward the net. You kind of want to be at a 45-degree angle in your normal shooting position.
Yes.
And then it's a little harder for the goalie to tell where you're going to go, and it's easier to go cross gauge. Another turnover. It looks like from center there, Graham Baker with some physicality.
Yeah, and you could tell he's just trying to draw some sort of position in there, and they are still leaving him in one-on-one coverage. Over the top, taken away here. It's Michael Shaheen with the good defense.
Huron with an advantage, I think, up here. Oh, Will Reinsma's going to meet him, though.
They've got Baker in one-on-one. They're trying to get it to Baker, and waiting too long at that time was Cal Bunnell. He pump faked to try and draw the Rockford defender to him to give Baker a little more space to go one-on-one, and just missed him. Meanwhile, here's Chino on another break down the right side. Chino waits, shoots, and a save by Euler this time. 6-1 Rockford, 4:40 to go here in the second quarter. Up the near side of the pool. Matt Dowling with it. Kicked it off. Peter Fazikis down into Baker, and a stop that time 2-meter here for Huron.
Yeah, that shot was from almost half pool, and it was on the water, but it actually kind of skipped up at the end, and good stop by Seymour, but Huron just trying to do anything to get the ball in the goal and make this more of a game.
Baker turns, backhand shot, good defensive play that time by Nate Cheney. He put his palm right on the elbow of the backhand and killed it on the water. Now here's a rush, opportunity for Stevens, working one-on-one, power move, skip low right, make it 7-1 Rockford.
Stevens with another one. Like I said, he has really good awareness leaving early. He didn't leave too early, but it was more of just he got over his hips super quick when he saw that, that Graham Baker got the ball and that it was probably going to be a shot. That's something that's really hard to teach and that you just kind of have to get by getting game experience. This is an experienced Rockford team, a lot of juniors and seniors, and I think that's showing here.
Well, you also remember that anybody that's on Rockford has been to states every year of their career, so much so that Rockford has not missed a state tournament since 1984.
Oh, wow.
1983, actually. They've been every year since 1984. That's a lot of experience. Into center, Baker trying to power his way back to the goal, and he gets swarmed that time by Reinsma. Just couldn't get much of a shot away that time as Rockford able to take it away again.
To me, the MVP for Rockford right now is Nate Cheney. I mean, he's just really containing Baker on the inside. Rockford's doing a good job not letting the ball get inside, but when it is, he's really just stuffing him and using those long arms.
Here's Stevens. It's deflected in by Huron. Coming back to the ball that time after it was Alex Moskis. The shot was partially blocked and then went past Euler for the goal. So it's a goal for Logan Stevens.
Stevens
8-1.
just has such a quick move when he gets the ball, going laterally, just moving the ball a little bit and throwing the goalie off and just putting it right in.
I want to go back to the Cheney-Baker matchup. You just mentioned it.
Yeah.
It's 8-1 Rockford right now.
Sure.
So you look at it, and he's done a great job. I think he might give up a little bit of weight to Baker. Baker looks like a little bit more muscular, a little bit thicker. That's not an easy one-on-one matchup. There's some experience difference there for sure. But, man, he's doing a great job on Graham Baker right now as Rockford's wagon works it up the pool, and a big stop
Nice
by
stop.
Euler.
It's a good stop by Euler. I think that might give him a little bit more confidence, too. I think it's hard as a goalie. Rockford put in 8 already before the half. The ball keeps going by you, and just to get a good stop like that might be a little bit of a game changer.
Here's Bunnell. He's got the Huron goal. Going to try again. The shot, save, rebound. Given right back to Seymour by Nate Cheney as Baker and Cheney mix it up down there in center. I think both guys getting a little frustrated. Center D is not fun. You get real close to somebody for a long time. It's a wrestling match. No matter how much you might like that guy, maybe you play club with him or something.
Sure.
It gets nasty in there after a while.
I think it's hard for center Ds, too, to kind of participate fully on the offensive end, too.
Here's Bunnell, the shot way over top of the goal, wide right.
I think it's hard for center Ds to kind of participate fully in the offense sometimes, or they feel like that they can't because they're so worried about defense. In Nate Cheney's case, his job probably from Coach Peterman is you're going to stop Graham Baker. So far, he's doing a good job, but he's kind of been a little bit at half pool, not too engaged in terms of the offense, but it hasn't mattered too much.
Right side, taken away here by Huron. 2 minutes 5 to go here in the second. Getting updates from the other pool. Skyline leading Grand Haven 4-0 at the half. Been told great defense by Skyline so far. Right side of the pool. Here's Moskis.
See the drop coming there from the other side as Rockford gets the ball.
I think they're trying to give Cheney a bit of a break because it's been a wrestling match for the last 6-7 possessions here.
Yep.
Wagon just inside mid-pool.
Some cross drives that makes, who is that?
That's 16 down there for Rockford. Wyatt Cliff, power move, bar in. 9-1 Rockford with 99 seconds to go here in the half.
That's some incredible strength from Wyatt Cliff. I mean, the defender, number 17, Daniel Huang, I believe, completely stays in front of him. He doesn't give up any space. It's just Wyatt completely maintains control of the ball and just stuffs it in the goal.
So this one getting well into Rockford's favor early. A lot different of a quarterfinal than we saw in the last game. So one good thing for Rockford is they can afford to get some guys out of the pool and get them some rest for game 2 of the day. That can be key in this tournament. Long shot from the outside. Dozami takes the shot. It's over top of the goal. Rockford wants a timeout with 1:26 to go in the second. We'll take a little bit of an audio break here and remind you that our friends at Cap 7 are the official ball of the Michigan Water Polo Association. We'll be back with the conclusion of the first half of the MWPA network. Minute and 26 to go in the opening half here between Rockford and Huron. Is 9-1 Rams. So right now the countdown is somewhat begun. 15 minutes, 26 seconds of game action left. If they can hang out of this, they are back in the state semifinals and back in the top 4 after last year. Went to the state tournament. They had a tough first-round matchup with Pioneer, lost and ended up losing again and ended up in the 7th place game, which, as we know, Rockford typically does not end up in a 7th place game. So
yeah, I mean that's partially a tough matchup, but also I think this year they got a pretty solid squad, from the top of the roster to the bottom, and they're going to be interesting here in the second round if they can get there.
Into center, and going to be an exclusion here on Duzami, who I think didn't realize that it was Rockford's ball, so he went and touched it. He's headed off to the corner. Rockford 6-on-5 to make it 10-1. Wyatt Cliff all the way in. The shot saved by Euler that time, who read that one cleanly.
Yeah, it seemed like he didn't fully reset after his pump fakes. He was kind of forward a little bit on his motion, and then he didn't kind of get that full arm extension all the way.
Oh, boy. Turnover potentially here.
Looks like some head contact there from Wagon, the Huron ball.
There's Moskis just able to get back to the ball into center. Baker's 1-on-2, still battling for it. Swam over Wyatt Cliff. It's going to be Rockford's ball.
I think at this point, I mean, it's 9-1, and I think in the second half, Coach Barnett needs to put Graham Baker on the outside and get him out of the middle because he's not getting much in there, and just see if you can.
Rockford had a wide open driver. Wyatt Cliff, they shoot from about 6 meters cross cage. Euler made a stop, but they had a breakaway, essentially, if they had gotten the ball there.
Yeah, definitely a miss there on the weak side as Huron brings the ball back down. 20 seconds left on the shot clock.
Baker's in 1-on-1, and the pass thrown away up top. That would have been a good opportunity because he had side. and he's got a size advantage on Shea Chino.
I was going to say, it's also not the matchup that he's been used to the rest of this game. Chino's a little smaller. He might have been able to do a turn or something a little more creative.
Here's Wagon, late shot, stopped by Euler. Euler, I actually don't really mind that play that time as he throws it away from trouble. At the horn, Huron shot is short. That's the half. Rockford leads it 9-1 here at the state quarterfinals. As Rockford coming in and putting the pedal to the floor real quick here in this one.
Yeah, Rockford didn't let up after the first quarter. They came out with a lot of energy, scored some outside shots, had some goals from the middle, kind of scoring from all places, and they didn't stop in that second quarter. Huron having a tough time here offensively. Rockford just not letting them, kind of get to their game plan, and that's credit partially to the preparation by Rockford.
As we take a look later in the evening here, Pioneers punch their ticket to the state semifinals as Don Packard and company makes their way up here into the stands to presumably watch their next round opponent, Rockford, here. And the other one, it looks like it's going to be Hudsonville and Skyline, so seeding-wise, all chalk so far. And I think, if you were going to pick, those might have been the matchups you picked for the semifinals. I think this has the potential to be one of the best and most exciting semifinal rounds we've had in a long time between both semifinal games.
Yeah, I know. I completely agree with you, and I think that goes back to a point we were talking about earlier about how it's just four really solid teams, and it's not that we do have some stars. That's not what I'm saying. There are some guys that can get it done on both ends of the pool. But top to bottom, there just is a lot of threats in the pool on both sides, and it's going to be about a lot of those guys stepping up. I mean, we saw even in the game earlier, Jenison had plenty of guys that you may not think of when you think of that team, but they had great games and just came up a little bit short.
Let's take a look back. Last year, Pioneers' path into the semifinals, they had Rockford, who was real good last year. And then they had Hudsonville in the semifinals. I mean, that's a gauntlet to go through because Grand Haven finished second in the West last year. So you think we got to go Rockford, Hudsonville to get to the state championship game? That's not so easy. Now, Jenison Rockford doesn't appear to be that much easier this year for Pioneer.
No, definitely. Yeah, no, I think it's interesting when it comes to these matchups. I think you really have to game plan individually for each team. Like I said, I think the makeup of these teams is similar, but they do kind of play different styles. Rockford, and not as much in this game. They're really relying on the counter, but typically they really like to get the ball down low into Wagon. I think if I'm game planning against Rockford, I got to take that away and make them shoot from the outside. And then in terms of Pioneer, they really like to do a lot of cycling through guys in the middle. But honestly, I'm gonna make them shoot from post ups and try to crash down on them, and just take the ball from them. So,
yeah, and if you look at if it does end up being Rockford and Pioneer, those are two teams that have tied twice this season. I mean, you don't see ties often in the MWPA. It's at tournaments for the most part, but they met at two different tournaments and tied both games. Pioneer tied Hudsonville in regulation, then took them to a shootout and lost. So you look at their resume, it's pretty good. Rockford's, on the other hand, against state tournament teams so far this year, 8-4-2. You got to remember some of those are to Hudsonville. 13 times state champions, all of them since 2000. It's amazing to think they've won 13 times in the state tournament just since 2000, when the boys MWPA has been around since 1972. And they're the all-time leaders now.
Yeah, I mean, my freshman year I came into Michigan State, and there was I'm trying to think of how many guys, 5, 6, or 7 guys from Rockford, all in my class who are great friends of mine now. But I hated playing against them in high school. I mean, they were just so dominant and just, have really complete teams and are always so well coached. So
I was on the east side during kind of the later stages of Huron's heydays when they had a couple of really, really good European players. I remember David Haskin. I remember Alexander Petrovic. I remember having zero fun playing against Huron all those times. Saw them play a lot of great games. Saw them here in a state championship game in 2011. Pioneer ended up winning that game. But two programs with a ton of tradition. Huron is a team that is trying to climb back on top of the mountain where they were. And again, you look, and I see Bunnell, the offense so far today for Huron, a sophomore. Graham Baker, 104 goals, a sophomore. Fazekas, who started the game in center D, a junior. Jack Humphreys, you just look around the roster, they got a lot of guys that are coming back next year. So the experience that they're gaining right now, so valuable.
So valuable, and I mean, that's what we were talking about with some of these other teams with Rockford and Pioneer. You know, they've consistently been in the state tournament for so long, and Huron has too. It's just recently, you know, not as much. So I think that getting this experience, especially for these younger guys, is going to be really important looking toward the next couple of years.
Rockford in the dark caps down to our left. Huron in the light caps to our right. Second half about to get underway here. Reminder, if we get to a 10-goal advantage for either side at the end of the quarter, it will be a shortened 5-minute fourth quarter. So if Rockford does get the ball or get the number up to that, we weren't behind schedule here at the state tournament, and we do have the break coming up, but it'll give us a little bit of a longer break before the next round.
That's good defense there by Jaden Martin in center D, and also by the goalie there.
Yeah, Jaden Martin's been really good at the later stages of the season for them. Martin, not a big goal scorer, but one of their better defensive players. Into center, one-on-one, and a shot skips wide left of the goal. That was Mike Shaheen in center. And you're right, down here on the outside of the pool is Graham Baker. He was one-on-one with, unfortunately for him, Christian Wagon, who's got a lot of experience and one of the best players in the state.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I wanted to see Graham Baker go on the outside a little bit more in this half, and it looks like that's what Barnett's going to, trying to mix up the offense a little bit and try different things.
Quick kick back into center, sweep shot attempt, taken away. Good defense in center D again by Jaden Martin as Euler back to the ball.
Not a lot of advantages here on the counter. We saw in the first half Rockford just really getting up in transition. So far, a little more quiet.
Ooh, Baker dragged out of the play there by Joe Reinsma. And going to be, was that a roll?
I think so.
I think they just ejected Graham Baker from the game.
I don't know if that was for a comment. I wasn't sure if he said something. There was a little bit of a scrum there with Reinsma coming over and stealing the ball. Not sure exactly what happened here. Hopefully we'll get an update in a second.
Reinsma scores the goal. Give us 1 sec, Zach. We'll see if we can get an update on what just happened.
Yeah, Reinsma with the goal there. Really good cross-cage shot with the pump fake on the 6-on-5 as Graham Baker gets out of the pool.
The score table has said that Graham Baker has not been rolled. So we'll see. I don't know officially if that was a minor.
That might have been a minor misconduct.
Oh, because it was only one half. That's what caught me. You're right. So
again, still not sure what exactly that was for, but yeah, he's out right now on the bench. So
he looked at the guy that I think Joe Reinsma, who he got tangled up with, and typically that's when you get in situations where talking happens. So a minor act of misconduct called by Brent Augustine in the game.
You know, I actually like the call. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure what it was for, but as this game gets a little out of hand, you want to make sure people are being safe and making sure everyone's a little more calmed down.
Offensive foul here on Rockford, and Huron had numbers. Euler going to hang on to the ball a little bit longer, though. In the pool, Fazekas on the near side. Into center, backhand shot. Oh, that's a beauty for Mike Shaheen. Off the arm of Seymour, top left corner. And Huron is on the board for the second time today.
Shaheen really got out of the water there. That's one thing that I'd like to see from more guys, not just centers, but guys that go in the post. A lot of times people's first move, partially because of the contact, is they go underwater and they bury their head. He really treaded up there and just got his arm up and actually put that almost top corner on Seymour.
Rockford trying to regain their 9-goal advantage here on this possession. Skyline now leading Grand Haven 5-1 at the end of the third from the other pool. Reinsma into center, and that one given away that time by Rockford, maybe. Huron back to it, and Euler will protect it.
We have an advantage on the other side. Matt Dowling, it looks like, is in the corner.
Had an opportunity for it, but the pass got up the pool a little late. Now he's got to protect the ball with Reinsma coming at him. Reinsma's got those long arms, hard to play against. Into center, missing Shaheen. Shaheen back to the ball. I think he tried to draw the grab call, but both hands were up by the center defender Wagon in there.
Michael Shaheen throws his cap too. It came off a little bit, I think, in the center play that's been very physical this game. And that's
Foul.
an aggressive foul by, who is that?
That's Peter Fazikis down there. And he came all the way over the top. That's a pretty easy call this time for Bergdold on the near side. Here's Reinsma.
Rockford with the 2-pop, having Che Chino come out.
Oh, and they handcuff Euler. They hit him kind of in the the wrists, and it goes upstairs over the top of his head into the net.
Euler clearly frustrated throwing the ball a little bit there. You know, it's tough as a goalie when, you know, the ball just keeps going to the net, and the defense is having a hard time with what Rockford's doing.
So Fazikis will be made to put his, Shaheen will be made to put his cap back on here by Brent Augustine. Rockford and Huron both going to the bench for a couple substitutions. Graham Baker back into the contest, so it was, again, a minor act of misconduct, which is why you saw the half-rolling hand signal. That one always throws me for a loop.
Yeah, and you don't see it super often either, so then I think when you see it, you automatically go to the full call. Like I said, I don't hate the call, though. I think it was important to keep the game in check.
Yes. You got some frustrated guys. It's a physical game. Baker immediately into a scrum, taken away from him.
And Rockford just not letting up despite the 9-goal lead.
Wagon with room. Cross the pool this time for Hopkins. Hopkins works his way in. Marked this time on that near side. Back up top. Going to be an exclusion here down low by, trying to catch the number on that
16,
train.
I believe.
That's Erdenbot into the corner. Up top.
Yeah, I think there was a foul when he didn't back up, as we've seen a couple times today. Rockford moving the ball around. Nate Cheney out of the play, but Rockford still scores.
Make it 12-2 Rockford on the goal that time. Will Cheney, as Rockford continues to go deeper and deeper into their bench. They'll bring on 22 this time. Gabe Rakow. You look at that bench for Rockford. I mean, it's just like it's just a freight train.
It's a whole other team, pretty much.
It's two more. I mean, you could put, I think I counted, they had like 26 guys in their postseason roster.
I'm pretty used to it because at Nationals we had a roster of 30. You know, I mean, even more than just being able for those guys to get in the pool, it's an advantage in terms of cheering, too. I mean, that's a force and energy on the bench. We saw Don Packard, you know, trying to hype up his guys as Pioneer kind of mounted that comeback in the third quarter. In that last game. So
there's something to that. If your coach can bring a little energy too, it really can get you going. Opportunity for Rockford and a sidewinding shot down there. That was Andrew Lepic that took the shot, missed it wide to the right. Now a breakaway up the pool. Euler doesn't think he can get it up there. And again, we talked about Euler's throwing with his offhand because he's got an injury to the other arm.
So impressive that he's still playing with that injury. You know, I mean, even though he's throwing with his other hand, that's really hard to do.
Well, he's a Division I baseball recruit. He's a big-time baseball recruit. He's no small thing at Ann Arbor Huron, and to be in the pool playing water polo, I mean, that's a little bit of a change here.
Do you have any idea what position he plays in baseball? I'd be interested to see because, I mean, if he can throw, I actually might have liked to put him in the field.
I think he is a pitcher. I believe he's a pitcher is what I was told by Margaret Baker. Again, big thanks to Margaret Baker for giving me some help on the Huron preparation.
Another kick out here on this possession. Rockford trying to work it around.
That's Erdenbot again to the corner. His second in about 3 minutes here. Down to 2 minutes and 10 to go in the third. Rockford way up top.
Graham Baker just doing everything he can to try to secure that ball.
Rockford on the outside trying to get something going here at the end of the 6-on-5. Couple of pump fakes across the formation. Rakow couldn't hang on to it. Up top, late in the shot clock. Rakow, short